If you're serious about making money with woodworking, even if it's a side hustle in 2026, you're going to need a strategy. So in this video, I'm going to show you 3 strategies that I'm leaning into this year for my woodworking business and will be a game changer for your business. Strategy number 1, focus on high-end products over low-end products. Now, this is a shift that I think has happened very recently in the woodworking space just because it's gotten more and more difficult to compete at scale with giant manufacturers who can mass produce wooden products. In 2025, I was placing a bid for a project. It was going to be 60 small cutting boards for a gluten-free bread company. They wanted to send out sample boxes to influencers, and they wanted to have a nice box with different loaves of bread and a nice cutting board to serve the bread on. So I was putting in a bid, and I think I quoted them maybe like $20 per board. They're really small cutting boards, like 8 by 10 inches. The CEO emailed me back and he said, "Hey, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to decline your offer. I can find 10-inch by 8-inch bamboo cutting boards on Amazon for $2.50. And it's like, I'm never going to be able to compete at those price points for cutting boards. And so this kind of got me thinking that maybe I should start to shift a little bit more in my business to focusing on higher end products that are a little bit more difficult to mass produce. They can't just be batched out in a factory. This is something that will be a game changer if you implement this in your business in 2026. First, use better materials. If you're someone who's just traditionally been making products from lumber from big box stores like Lowe's or Home Depot, maybe all of your products are made from pine or cypress wood, there's nothing wrong with that. And honestly, I think if you're just getting started in woodworking, it's pretty smart to practice on materials that aren't super expensive. However, as you start to grow your skills, grow your customer base, it's okay to start raising the level of materials that you're using because your final output's gonna be much better. So maybe instead of building all of your projects with pine, softwoods, even oak, maybe you wanna transition to using walnut, cherry, some nicer materials like that. A second way that you can raise the level of products that you're creating is to use products from other companies to help you focus on your craft. Right now, I'm working on building a $5,000 dining room table for a client of mine. He wants it to be black walnut and black epoxy. It's gonna look really, really cool. He, however, didn't really care too much about what the legs were, what the material was, and so I opted to buy some black metal legs from Carolina Leg Co. What's a game changer about this is I don't even have to worry about creating the legs myself. I can put all of my attention just on the tabletop. So I can make sure I get the epoxy pour really dialed in. I get the finish, the sanding, all of that really, really dialed in so that my client is gonna get a very high-end table that also has very high-end legs because I kind of outsource that to someone who specializes in metalwork. I don't specialize in that. There's tons of ways you can do this. Outsource your epoxy needs to Total Boat. Outsource your leg needs for coffee tables or dining room tables to Carolina Leg Co. These are just some examples, but if you partner with some of these businesses, it's gonna be much easier for you to focus on what you can do best and create higher end products. Shift number 2 is focusing on custom projects over batch products. Now, don't get me wrong, I think there is still a place for batching out products. For example, if you sell cutting boards or you give cutting boards to clients who buy higher end products like a dining room table, then I think you should create those products in batches. It's much more efficient. Your cost per item goes down significantly. So I'm a big fan of batching small projects. However, I think in 2026, moving to more custom products is going to make you more money per project. Let me give you another example. In 2025, I made a coffee cart for a friend of mine. He's starting a coffee business, and so he wanted to have a little cart that was about 4 feet wide where he can create iced coffees, hot coffees, basically have a little coffee shop on wheels. This was such a custom project that I even had him come down to my shop a couple of times and just say, "Hey, exactly where do you want these drawers? Where do these plumbing lines need to be routed?" Because I didn't really know a lot about the coffee side of what he was designing, but he was so thrilled that he had the opportunity to kind of speak into the design process, make sure the coffee cart was exactly what he wanted. It was a win for him and it was a win for me. And people will pay more money if they can speak into the design process. That's why I think custom is going to be the future for small woodworkers who maybe can't compete with these massive factories who can mass produce. Now, I get that there's also cons to custom builds. You can't set up your shop and just, batch things out like we talked about. You have to spend more time with your customer, understanding exactly what they want, making sure the designs are finalized before you begin construction. But be sure to charge for all of that time you spend planning. That's an important part of the process. When I was first getting into woodworking and selling my projects, I would do all the design work, but I wouldn't charge for any of that. That's valuable time, and that's a very important part of the project. So don't forget to bill your customer for that time. Hey, quick timeout. Just want to let you know that in 2026, in this new year, my personal goal is to have 100,000 subs on this channel. If you are not subscribed, if you could do me a huge favor, hit the subscribe button. It's totally free. It's just the way that you give back on YouTube, and I really, really appreciate it. All right, let's keep going with the video. The third shift that I'm making in 2026 and that I think you should make for your woodworking business is to sell to businesses rather than selling to individuals. Now, once again, there's nothing wrong with selling to individuals, and I will still be doing that to an extent this year. However, there's a couple of reasons why I like selling to businesses more than just an individual. First, businesses are typically less nitpicky about products because their main thing is not, for a coffee shop, having a coffee table. It's they sell coffee and they just want a table for people to sit at. So they won't be quite as nitpicky if something doesn't turn out just as good. Now, once again, this is not a reason to try and sell bad products or anything like that. You always want to be doing the best quality work you can. However, especially if you're getting started, sometimes businesses can actually be a little more forgiving if you make a small mistake and you tell them about it and maybe give them a discount versus someone who is buying a table for their home. They're going to be sitting at it every single day. Businesses can just be a little more forgiving. The second reason, and really the main reason why I think it's so amazing to sell to businesses, is that they will tend to make repeat purchases. As the businesses that you sell to expand, they'll probably also reach out to you for, hey, can I get another coffee table? Can I get another batch of cutting boards? Whatever the case is, they're going to make those repeat purchases as their business grows. Now, you might be saying, Ben, I have no idea what businesses I could sell woodworking products to, but I bet this is not true. I bet there are people in your sphere of influence, in your network that you know who have their own business or they're responsible for purchasing closing gifts for their business. There are all types of businesses that woodworkers can sell products to. Here are a couple of categories that I would think through if I were you. First, think through restaurants and coffee shops. Can you sell tables? Can you sell check presenters? Can you sell decor to some of these mom and pop restaurants or coffee shops in your area? You might even know a restaurant owner that you can sell to. Next, think through people who need closing gifts. This would be loan officers, real estate agents. Who are people that when they close a big deal, they want to give their client a gift? Sell to those people. These are things that I've done both of these things in the past, and they lead to lots of repeat purchases. And this last point kind of brings me to one of the most fundamental truths about having a woodworking business. I don't care what year it is. The more you talk about your business, whether it's your full-time thing or a side hustle, it will always lead to more sales. And this goes for not only talking to people in person about the fact that you have a woodworking business, but also posting on social media, having a social media presence. If you're serious about making some money as a woodworker, you need to tell other people, I have a woodworking business, I sell products, let me know if I can make anything for you. This isn't being salesy, it's just letting people know, hey, this is something that I do, I enjoy it, let me know if I can help you. If you commit to consistently talking about your business to other people in 2026, I guarantee you it will be a game changer. And you'll be surprised about how many people are like, that is so cool that you're using a skill you have to make some money. People won't think it's salesy, even if you feel at first like it might be. They'll just really appreciate the fact that you're sharing your skills with them. So that's the strategy that I'm leaning into for this year. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts or if you're seeing some other trends in the woodworking business space. Then check out one of these two videos. I talk about other woodworking business concepts here. Can't wait to see you in one of these two videos.